All right, let's fire up the time machine and head back to 1981 to one of the most classic Dungeons & Dragons adventures ever written, The Keep on the Borderlands. Today, we're going to break down just one single encounter from that module. But oh man, it's a devious one. It's a masterclass for any adventurer on why you can never, ever let your guard down. You know, this is how it usually begins, right? Not with some grand quest, but with a rumor, a whisper. Before your party even steps foot outside the keep, they might hear this. It's just vague enough, just ominous enough to plant a little seed of paranoia as they head out into the wild.
And this is where they're going. The Borderlands are no walk in the park. The whole place is described as a wild frontier filled with monsters and constant danger. Out here, trust is probably the rarest treasure you could find. Every single shadow could be hiding a threat.
But then, just when your group is getting used to the oppressive quiet of the forest, they spot someone, a lone figure, and he looks peaceful. In a land that's been nothing but hostile, this feels like a breath of fresh air, a moment of relief.
The setup here is just brilliant. He doesn't come at you with a weapon drawn, no. The module specifically tells the dungeon master to have him walk right up to the party, acting like a friend, a spiritual guy who just loves nature. He'll offer a kind word, maybe share a story, anything to get the players to relax and drop their guard.
So, what do? I mean, you've been fighting your way through this grim wilderness and suddenly this friendly face appears. It feels like a miracle. But then you remember that rumor, right? Beware the mad hermit. Is this the guy? Or did you just stumble upon a genuinely kind old man?
Yeah, about that glimmer of hope, it was all just bait. The trap is about to spring.
And there it is. This guy isn't seeking goodness in nature. He's a predator. He's just waiting for the party to get comfortable, to turn their backs, maybe sit down around a campfire. And the second they do, he strikes. That friendly holy man was just a mask, and what's underneath is a knife aimed right at your back. And make no mistake, this isn't just some random crazy person. In D&D terms, he's a third-level thief. That means he's a professional. He knows how to move without a sound, how to hide, and most importantly, he knows the absolute best place to stick a knife when someone isn't looking. So, just as the party is reeling from this sudden betrayal, they realize something else, something much, much worse. The hermit, he's not alone. His pet has been watching them this whole time. So let's just look at what you're up against here. The hermit himself is pretty tough with a decent armor class and 15 hit points. But his partner is a Cuisinart of claws and teeth. The mountain lion is harder to hit and it attacks 3 times every single round. That is a storm of damage designed to just overwhelm a party that's already been caught completely off guard.
And this is the nasty part of their tactic. While the hermit is busy charming everyone with his friendly act, the lion is perched right above them, hidden in a tree. The module is very clear about this. It always gets the first attack. It's a leaping ambush meant to throw the entire fight into total chaos from the very first second.
Okay, look at this number. This single number right here, this is what makes the hermit's betrayal so unbelievably deadly.
That is not a normal bonus to hit. That massive +6 comes from a combination of his madness and his thief skills. And what it means is that his first attack, that backstab against the poor soul who trusted him, is almost a guaranteed hit. It's the ultimate betrayal, designed to take one adventurer out of the fight before it even truly begins. So, assuming your party manages to survive this vicious ambush, the encounter still isn't over. Now they have a chance to figure out just where this guy came from by tracking him back to his lair. And his lair isn't some cabin or a cave. Just like the original art shows, his home is part of the forest itself. A huge hollow oak tree, completely hidden by a bush. It's such a perfect reflection of his character, right? Secretive, wild, and just blended right into the dangerous landscape. And once you get inside, it tells the rest of his story. There's nothing civilized here. His bed is literally a pile of leaves. He's got a cup and a plate that he carved himself out of wood. This guy is living a completely feral life, which just hammers home that the whole friendly holy man thing was a complete and total act. Now, for the adventurers who were smart enough or lucky enough to survive all this and find his lair, there's one last piece to the puzzle. The reward, the reason he was so willing to kill to protect his little secret home. buried under that pile of leaves is a little chest. Inside, there's a nice chunk of change, sure, but more importantly, there are two magic items. A potion of invisibility, you can see why a thief would want that, and a magic dagger. And that's the whole game in the Borderlands, isn't it? If you're willing to take on the greatest risks, you might just find the greatest treasures.
And really, that's the big takeaway from this whole encounter. You go to the Borderlands expecting to fight goblins, maybe an ogre. You're ready for fangs and claws. But the Mad Hermit? He teaches a much harder lesson. Sometimes, in a world full of monsters, the most dangerous thing you'll ever face is a friendly smile.